Welcome to Lycomingfootball.com. Lycoming College just defeated Delaware Valley, number 21 in the nation, 19-16. I'm losing my voice, and I'm just taking photos. Mike, how you doing after this one?
Okay.
Head coach Mike Clark.
No, John, we're good. Very happy. 2 weeks in a row, pretty emotionally draining, though. I mean, it's just, and I think that's the thing that is probably hard for a lot of people to understand. You know, it's not just the physical part. Everyone at this point of the season is really worn down a little bit physically. But having to play two top 25 teams 2 weeks in a row, not easy from a mental standpoint. You know, you wish you had, I don't know, if not a bye this week, you know, maybe not an undefeated team that you got to get back in and deal with. But incredibly proud of our coaching staff and of the kids, the young men in our football program, because those guys found a way to respond and while it wasn't pretty, accomplished something pretty darn good today.
Well, I don't know that you can have a pretty game against Widener or DelVal. It's just who comes up with the win. What impressed me the most was the offensive line. No sacks,
right,
and opening up holes for Craig Needhammer. I think he had 95 yards in the first half.
Yeah.
That was really key to go in with that half and keep them away from the ball.
Yeah, you know, John, and we still have to find a way to come out in the third quarter and play a little bit better. You know, similar to last week, we didn't, despite having the lead, didn't play very well in the third quarter. So we got to find a way to finish drives in the first half, which could have given us some more breathing room. And then, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to our opponents the last 2 weeks who have made some really good adjustments. And, you know, they're all well coached and very talented, and they come out and, you know, have found a way to get back in the game and you know, make it really competitive. But that's what good teams do. And Jimmy, you know, Jim Clements is an outstanding coach. I mean, he has done a phenomenal job in his time at DelVal, and we knew it wouldn't be easy. So we're really proud to be able to get this one today.
Craig Needhammer, 2 touchdowns. I think they were short running plays into the end zone. And then you have another star wide receiver coming up, I think, in Corey Talerico, a great catch over the middle when you needed it.
Yeah, I tell you what, really happy for Corey. Very happy for Corey. You know, Matt got the ankle. Matt did some good things. Ryan Umpleby is obviously a good player.
He had a key catch, Matt.
He did, and he got hurt again, and Corey jumps right in. And, you know, Corey, I think it's been a long road back for him. You know, to get back to school, and you know the last couple of years have been tough for him, but he's really matured and has come on as a player. He hadn't played football in a couple of years and had a lot of learning to do in terms of our system. And I would say probably if you asked him, he was probably a little frustrated earlier in the year. But you know what? He's another guy, and I hate to say that there's a drop-off, not a drop-off, but other than experience, I think Corey and Matt's skill sets are very, very similar. Yeah. You know, Corey's an outstanding football player, and he has a really bright future.
Last week, the kicking game was really a plus for us, but really struggled today.
We did, and it all starts with the snap. You know, the place kicking game is incredibly it's impacted greatly by your timing. And we did not. The first PAT which we missed, we ran a guy out there late, which is a personnel issue that shouldn't happen. And then we had some poor snaps, and you know Zach McMenamin has been great all year and was probably equally bad today. So it's not always the kicker. That's right. It's not. It's a timing thing. And when we operate with a great snap, a good hold, and a good kick, we score points. That did not happen today, right? That didn't happen today, and it almost cost us a football game.
Yeah, that's something I'm sure you're going to work on during the week.
Yeah.
2 great defensive plays that I can think of. Kabongo Bukasa had a big interception.
Sure did.
And then at the end, our qualified personnel, Tanner Troutman, who better to end that drive at the end than Tanner?
Well, and that's why I fought like crazy to keep him in the game. Yeah. Listen, I'm not going to talk about the refs.
No.
They have a tough job to do, especially when you have 2 really good teams. And all I asked them to do was talk about the ejection. I wasn't arguing that it wasn't a penalty. I wasn't arguing that for the yardage at that point. I just asked them as a crew, since we don't have instant replay, to take the time and talk about it. And if that anybody had a better view of it, to come to the conclusion that we targeted, and that and if not, to not eject them, and that's what happened. I'm not apologizing for that. It was a critical point of the game. I give the one thing I'll give, and I know we won, but I give the refs a ton of credit for listening and trying to do the right thing instead of taking the opinion of one guy who might not have had the best view to get as many perspectives of the play as they could, because we don't have instant replay. That would have cost us one of our better defensive players for the rest of the game, and it might have been the difference in the game, which with the play at the end probably is the difference in the game.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen the tape, but really what I thought was happening, he was trying to break the ball loose.
That's what it sounds like. I didn't see it.
Yeah, and whether he led with the helmet, I don't know.
Right.
The refs have a tough job, too.
They do.
And we know everyone's worried about concussions in this game. So
no, what we do is
they did the right thing, and you kind of reverse their snappy decision.
All I asked them to do was talk about it, right? If we had the benefit of instant replay, it would be a lot easier, and someone else would do that. And it's hard. They do have to make decisions right now. I get it. But I'm glad they tried to get it right. And again, while I didn't see it, from my perspective, I'll say that it was probably the right thing to do.
Well, great game. I know you're going to celebrate tonight, and then Lebanon Valley's no slouch. And
they're good. They're 4-1.
Yep, the season just keeps right on going.
Yeah.
And, that's one thing that you knew was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
We're kind of front-loaded, but you can't take any game for granted.
Nah.
That's the way out.
No, you can't, John. Listen, we're where we want to be. We're the only team in first place in the conference. But that really doesn't, at this point, it doesn't mean anything other than some people in the conference would like to be where we are right now. If they say they wouldn't want to be this whole team in first place, I don't think they're being truthful. That doesn't mean they're not going to try like heck to knock us off, and there's 5 opportunities left for people to do it. So we've got to continue to grow and develop and really become as good a team as we can and really eliminate some of the problems we're still having in order for that to happen.
Yep. Well, enjoy this one, Mike, and we'll see you midweek.
We will. Thank you, John.
Yep.
Appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good to be here.
Thank you.
This has been a production of Lycomingfootball.com.